I'm Keith Barron. I'm the Chairman and CEO of Auriana Resources. Forward-looking statements, I'll be making a heck of a lot of them, so you can read this at your leisure later if you come by our booth. So if you're new to the junior mining space, I have no aspirations ever to put a property into production. It takes a different skill set, which I don't have, and which none of my board has. Three most important things are a fantastic piece of prospective real estate, and you can argue the point with me later whether or not we have that, an experienced exploration team, which we certainly do have, and cash in the bank and demonstrated ability to attract funds. Okay, you can only find elephant-sized deposits if you're prepared to go to virgin areas. So you go out in the room here and you'll see a ton of retreads. And nobody's going to find a world-class deposit of those retreads unless you're very, very, very lucky, or the people who have been on the property before you haven't done their work properly. Chances are vanishingly small. Our area has never been looked at by a mining company. The last people to prospect there were the Spanish conquistadors almost 500 years ago. So we're working in Ecuador. The pink star there, it's in what's called the Cordillera de Curucu. It's to the north of the Cordillera del Condor, where I previously worked for about 10 years with the president of the company, Richard Spencer, who's over there. He's responsible for most of the discoveries of the porphyry copper bodies, and I'm responsible with my team to find Fruta del Norte, which was an almost 14 million ounce gold deposits, which will be in production in September of this year. Ecuador is a great jurisdiction. It's underexplored. The majors are piling in big, big time. Almost everyone's there. Major mining companies, BHP, Anglo, Gencor is there. I can go on and on and on. And I'm sure you've seen it in the lots and lots of coverage in the press. So this is just an article out of an Australian publication. It says BHP and Newcrest in Ecuador shootout. There's basically a bun fight for a deposit that's owned by SolGold, and that's really what's triggered this current interest in Ecuador, and also the permitting and work towards exploitation of Fruta del Norte by Lundin Gold. A lot of positive elements there. The government's removed the windfall profits tax. They've reformed the income tax law. There's a lot of positives, and that's one of the reasons why the companies are there. So it's considerably de-risked. People come to me all the time and they say, it's South America, what are the risk factors there? This doesn't have many risk factors. The big majors are there now, and they're there for a reason, or they wouldn't be spending the money. We have more than 500,000 acres. It's that red box you can see. So it's 208,000 hectares. It's north of, I didn't get to show this, but it's north of the area that's been heavily explored. It's about 100 kilometers north of Fruta del Norte, and there's a number of porphyry copper deposits, known deposits. There's one that's in pre-production right now called Mirador. A lot of activity to the south, but there has been none on our property previously. Some of that's got to do with infrastructure, some of it's just got to do with a lack of database. This is me at my last discovery in the belt to the south, which is Fruta del Norte, looking at 12 boxes of visible gold like a proud papa. It was certainly a wonderful day for me. Our share price went up from 46 cents to $43. That's a 9,200% increase, and I'm back there trying to do it again. After this company was sold, I retired for about 3 weeks, got bored, and decided I had to go back to Ecuador and get working on it all again. So I started working with that gentleman down the bottom there, Octavio Latorre. He was a professor of history. And first of all, we started in 1998, long before the Aurelian story started, looking for 2 lost gold settlements of the Spanish conquistadors, which were reputed to be the richest in the Spanish Empire. Lots and lots of contemporary sources. I wouldn't have believed the story, except the professor said to me that he had worked on this place, which was refound in 1981 by 2 kids hunting pigs in the forest. It was an old gold mine of the Spanish conquistadors, which was lost after 1603. It has produced 2.7 million ounces of gold in the modern era. This is not treasure story. This is for real. So This is a contemporary map from 1584. I actually own it. It's on the wall of my office. It's showing the two places, Sevilla de Oro and Logroño de los Caballeros. I spent a lot of time in the Archive of the Indies in Seville, about a year and a half. This is what it looks like. And lots of time here in the Vatican Library, where I found this book. And this book is very important. It's almost impossible for you to read it, but up in the top, because it's been bleached out by the lights here. But trust me, it's giving a couple of references to a place called Macas and a place called the Rio Alpano. If you come back by our booth, I'll show you. And these places are up here. You can see the city of Macas. And then just to the right of that is a label, the Rio Alpano. So Sevilla de Oro is just in that vicinity. That led me and Richard back to this area, where we have been consistently exploring using modern technology, geophysics, geochemistry, all the tools that we use to find Fruta del Norte and the porphyries to the south. Now, we have at currently 36 signed agreements with the local communities. We work very, very hard with the indigenous communities and the other stakeholders, and we have over 100 employees right now who are indigenous. So we are very, very committed to our host communities with environment and health and education and agriculture. We've got a model farm that's being built, working with one of the communities right now. Lots and lots of programs going on. We have 8 gold epithermal silver gold targets to date. You can see them listed here. Crunchy Hill is the first one that we're attacking. It's not necessarily the most important one, it's just the first one we found. It's right off the paved road. So it's got great logistics. We started there with the field group because it was a convenient place to train them up, and lo and behold, we came up with a discovery. We've got 4 porphyry copper type targets and 1 Mantos type replacement silver lead zinc target. That's just a start. We've only covered 35% of the concession block, 208,000 hectares, only 35%. There's going to be a lot of news, a lot of joy coming out of this. So this is, we find at Crunchy Hill, we find the pathfinders for gold on the surface, lots and lots of mercury, naturally occurring, thallium, arsenic, manganese, selenium, tellurium, all the pathfinder elements that would indicate that there is something at depth. Fruta del Norte, that discovery didn't have any gold on the surface, but it had very high arsenic, antimony, and mercury, and that's why we drilled it. And right under the geochemical anomaly, about 125 meters down, we hit it big time. This is a very interesting graphic here, and if you come by our booth, you'll see I'd like you all to come by and have a look at it. The scale down on the bottom is 3 kilometers. So that map there, that's a geophysical map. We're talking north to south, what, about, maybe 25 clicks, 25 clicks. All those green triangles are copper samples that we've taken. And they're sedimentary hosted copper. It's very, very interesting. We really haven't got our head around it yet. This is almost a brand new discovery. But all of these numbers are ranging between 1 and 9% copper. Why is that significant? It's because in the world, the average grade being mined is 0.75%. This is much, much higher than that. It's at surface and it's in sediments. Very, very interesting. It looks like that, chalcocite. Our capital structure, it's very nice and tight, 32 million shares out. We have over 100 million market cap. I own more than half the company, 51%. I don't earn a salary. So the money that is raised in financing goes into the ground. You won't find anybody here at the conference who's doing a similar sort of thing. So that's the story. Please come by our booth, and I'd be happy to share some more information with you. And if you get a chance, watch our video series as well. It's very, very educational and informative. Thank you very much.